In this video, I'm going to be putting myself through quite some torture. I hate living in the city. I'm going to be revisiting and fixing some of my old slime collection today. I have a lot of slimes, so I'm definitely not going to be able to do them all in this video. So if you guys like this, then I will make a part 2 continuing fixing my slimes. Just let me know. Also, starting next video, I'm going to be doing comment shoutouts. So if you want a shout out, just leave a comment below about the video and make sure that you put you'd like a shout out, because if you don't and I give you one, that would be a little awkward. And yeah, let's get to the video. The first set of slimes I decided to go with was the DIY by Vivi collection. I started out with this mango boba milk one. It's been a while since this was last opened, so the cap is practically glued on there. And we're off to a great start because I found this disgusting hair in the slime. I'm pretty sure the slime didn't come with the hair in it. I probably would have remembered that upon first opening it. But I have no idea who this belongs to because, as you can see, it is very, very long, and my hair has not been this long in quite a while. This was not a pleasant experience, but I'm glad that I caught it before reactivating it, otherwise it would have been much more difficult to remove from the slime. I'm still very curious to know where this hair came from, but maybe it's best I don't. Once that ordeal was taken care of, I am now mixing in some activator to the slime. As you can see, this was pretty much pure liquid, so it needed quite a bit of mixing and activating, but eventually I did get there and got it back to its normal state. I completely forgot about the boba pearls in it that were made of black Orbeez and how they're always falling out of the slime, and how irritating that was. So that was a fun reminder, but otherwise the reactivating went pretty smoothly. Now I'm just using the activated slime to clean out the unactivated slime from the jar lid. I'm just mixing it all together so it's all once again activated and putting it back into the container. If I remember correctly, when I first reviewed this slime way back, I think 2 years ago, I complained that the smell was very mild, but the smell is actually pretty strong, so I don't know if I'm remembering incorrectly or the smell was strengthened by reactivating it, but it was very pleasant. The next slime I'm fixing from this collection is the vanilla ice cream slime. I remember back when I first reviewed this, I couldn't tell what the theme of it was, and my guess was birthday cake, but I looked back at the shop to find the slime that matched this one, and it was vanilla ice cream. It was originally a cloud slime, but after it had set, it became very wet, so it didn't have the webby effect that most cloud slimes have. So I took some of this instant snow that I bought from an Etsy shop called Slimentine and just mixed that into it. I'm just gonna let that settle for a few days, and we will come back to it.
4 to 6 days later.
I let it sit for about 5 days, and when I opened it up and started playing with it, it definitely had its webby texture back like cloud slimes should have. However, I don't think cloud slimes are supposed to have add-ins like foam beads because they don't stick well to the cloud slime because of its texture, so the beads were still falling out pretty often. But ultimately, I did return the slime back to its normal state, so this was successful. The last slime in this collection was the Rainbow Marshmallow Fizzy Slime. I remember falling in love with the texture and the scent of this. It had kind of a sour candy scent, I believe. Sadly, the texture was ruined because the slime was pretty melty, so I'm just adding some activator to that and mixing it in. Initially, when I first got the slime, it did inflate after playing with it, so I had to put the excess slime into this little container that the clay marshmallows came in. So I just mixed some activator into that since it was also melted, and it was almost good as new. Sadly, I couldn't recover the scent, but the texture was more or less recovered. The next collection I'm fixing is my Slime by Pandali collection, and I'm starting off with one of my most favorite slimes ever, Peach Pixie Potion. I remember opening this slime for the first time like it was yesterday. I was in love with the gorgeous color and the amazing scent. I could never forget this slime. I really mean it when I say this is without a doubt one of my most favorite slimes I have in my possession. This was pretty melted, as you can see. Clear slimes get super melty, so it took a lot of reactivating, but I also had to be careful not to use too much activator since clear slimes are really easy to overactivate. I tried to pick up the melted slime from the bottom of the container with the now activated slime, and that was pretty tricky. But eventually, I did get most of it, and once this was reactivated and back to its perfect condition, I had some really nice ASMR from it. I'm so happy that I have reunited with this slime, and I will never let it melt again. The next slime by Pandali Slime I'm activating is the Lavender Love slime. As you can see, it's a really nice purple color, and it was scented lavender, and it's a nice gentle scent, but it's definitely noticeable, so it's a great balance. This slime was a DIY clay slime, so it did have clay in it, obviously, and that made it a little tricky to reactivate it because the clay made it super stiff and lumpy, but eventually I did get it back to its original texture. The next slime was the Captain Crunch Berry slime. I believe this was a thick and glossy slime with these jumbo foam beads in it to represent the crunch berries in the cereal, and it was scented Captain Crunch, and it's a really great scent. This one also got pretty lumpy, but it wasn't quite as difficult as the Lavender Love. Thankfully, I got it back to normal, but upon returning it to its container, it made an unexpected fart noise. I'm an adult. Next up is the banana pudding slime. This started out as a thick and glossy slime, and it came with 2 little clay cookies that you could mix into it. But as you could probably tell, it turned to complete liquid, so I had to reactivate it, but I had to be very careful because of the clay in it, because reactivating it would make it stiff and lumpy like it did with the Lavender Love. I remember this slime inflated like crazy, so I ended up having to put some of the slime into the container the little clay cookies came with, so I'm just reactivating that as well. In the end, this didn't prove problematic really at all. It wasn't overly messy, it didn't get overactivated, and the scent was unharmed, which I'm really happy about because this slime has a great scent. I'm worried that this slime might be a lost cause, but it was Funfetti birthday cake, I believe, with a scent of strawberry. And if I remember correctly, it was a clay-based slime. The slime was pretty melted, but I think that the clay separated from it because the clay itself was very stiff and the slime was liquid. I thought that once they were mixed together, it would be okay again. I thought the slime would soften the clay and the clay would bind the slime, but that was not the case. The slime was extremely stiff, I couldn't stretch it or play with it or really anything, so this one might be hopeless. The next slime I'm fixing is this cherry slushy slime. This was a free sample that was sent with the other slimes to me, and I remember that I really liked it and I was surprised because I don't care for cherry, but it was pretty pleasant. Sadly, the scent to this one seems to have faded over time, but I did get it reactivated successfully. This next one was fruity cereal milk, and sadly, it was too stiff to be saved. But I do remember when I first got it, it had some really good bubble pops and crunches, and the scent was phenomenal. I'm actually pretty sad about this one, so if we could just have a moment of silence. On to our next collection, Lily Lime Slimes. The first slime I chose to fix was this pastel pink butter slime called Love Bun. As you can see, it is very melted, so I just did the usual, mixed in activator, kneaded it, yada yada yada. This one made me worry though, not because I overactivated it and ruined the clay, but because it was so liquidy I was starting to think it would never reactivate. I had to knead it for a very long time with my hands, and I hated it because I cannot stand being sticky, which is ironic because I love slime. But I did it to myself because if I took better care of my slime, it wouldn't be sticky in the first place. Thankfully, I did get it back to its original state, and whatever clay they used to make this slime is great quality because the slime is just as soft and fluffy as when I first got it. We're getting close to the end now with this Zodiac Jelly slime. It's a blue jelly slime with jelly cubes in it, and it's scented like blue raspberry. It also has zodiac sign Fimo slices in it, but you can't see those at first because they have all sunk to the bottom since the slime has melted. This one really scared me because it was making a lot of spills, and it was just super messy all around. It was not a pleasant experience, and it took a very long time to activate. And once again, my hands were extremely sticky, so that made all of this even more unpleasant. I really thought that this slime was just going to stay deactivated and I'd have to get rid of it because it was just a big glob of glue. Not to mention, the mess it was making was really starting to stress me out. Speaking of being stressed, let me know in the comments what stresses you out, or what one of your pet peeves are, and what you like to do to calm yourself down. Eventually, the slime was fixed, and you could see its pretty blue shimmers and its zodiac Fimos and the jelly cubes and everything, and I'm so happy that I was able to fix this because it's such a pretty slime. I was so relieved that I was able to salvage this and clean up the mess it made. And we are finally at our last slime of the video, Penguin Hugs. This was my first ever Bingsu bead slime, and to this day it's actually the only one I've ever bought from somebody. I think I got it because I'm just a sucker for penguins, and it came with an adorable penguin charm. This one is also scented blue raspberry, and it was also very difficult to reactivate. I honestly thought it would be easier because of the Bingsu beads, but apparently not. It kept going back and forth from feeling overactivated to underactivated, so I had to find a good balance for that. But eventually I did get there, and I was really grateful for it because the slime returned to its former glory. I really love the way the Bingsu beads shine through it. Bingsu beads are probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing slime add-ins, so if you're trying to make a slime look pretty, I'd suggest using them. The best part is that you can get them right at the dollar store for $1. They just go under the name tube confetti instead of Bingsu beads, but they're exactly the same thing. Eventually I got this slime back to normal, and I was really happy because it's fun to play with and I love to crunch the Bingsu beads. And that's the last slime for this video. Here are all of the slimes that I've managed to fix or attempted to fix in this video. I have plenty more to reactivate, so if you'd like a part 2 of this, let me know. Please remember to like and comment and consider subscribing if you liked the video. I appreciate all of your guys' support. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!